Thanks for tuning in to this episode of I Have Something to Say, where subject matter experts are unafraid and unapologetic about sharing their perspectives regarding issues that impact our lives. They speak up because basically they give a shit. So if you're tired of canned answers and want to finally hear real people cut through the BS and talk about real issues, this is the podcast for you. I'm your host, Sami Heyman Marrero from Urbander, and behind our mixer is our producer, Chris Majoka from You Do You. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's hanging in there, that things are stable, that you're practicing safe measures to keep your family healthy, and that you've been able to adjust to our current situation. I felt it was so important to bring a friend, someone I trust, and someone that's an official CPA with a lot of experience to be able to help us navigate this hot mess of the stimulus plan and the loans and the process, and just help us out here. Gustavo Torres Decos, my friend, the CPA. How are you?
I'm okay. A pleasure and an honor to be here with you, and thank you for the invitation and to give me the opportunity to share this information with the whole community.
Yes, totally. Well, I gotta tell you, big thank you. Gracias. Because I feel it's like every time there's one minimal update, you make sure you send out a mass email to everybody you know with the breakdown. And I printed the breakdown because that's what we're gonna talk about, right?
And I try to do it friendly user in a language that
Yes.
everybody can understand.
It's totally user friendly. And what I love the most is that it's in bilingual format. So you read it in English and it's easy to digest. And then you read it in Spanish and it's well put together. And I'm like, we need to call Gustavo and have him on this podcast and videocast now of I Have Something to Say, so we could share this information to people that either lost their jobs, that are in
Mhm.
transition, that are looking to start a new business, that are business owners, so that way, we can help them, right? Know what's available, but also some tips on what to do on your own also, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Correct.
Absolutely. So the last email you sent was Monday. Is it a Mondays thing?
That's
You do
correct.
this every Monday?
Monday the 13th. That's correct.
Okay, good. And so you have it lined it up by categories. And so the first topic that you spoke about was rebates. But you know what? Let me pause there for a minute. Let me get some
Sure.
backstory on Gustavo. I met Gustavo through one of the local chambers of commerce. Okay. I fell in love with his wife, actually, first, because I met her first. And it was like, in the background, you could hear the song Reunited, and it feels so good because I felt like she was
Okay.
a soulmate. She was like a soulmate. I met her and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm digging this chick, right? And I love her. Day Samar, kisses to you.
See you to you.
She's here. She hears me. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So to pop in. But anyway, so I met her, and then of course I met Gustavo. And your story is very interesting because
Yeah.
you were a business owner first, and
That's
then
right.
became a CPA.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
right.
you've been a business owner for 30 years, so I think you know a thing or two about,
Yeah.
right, the hills and valleys of owning your own business. But then you've been a CPA for the last 15 years, and so that brings a whole other element, right,
That's
into the
correct.
equation in terms of your level of expertise. Tell me
Mhm.
about your background and how you went this route of business
Well,
owner to then CPA.
yeah, I first want to clarify something. 30 years sounds like a lot of years, but I start really young in my life, so I'm a young guy.
Okay.
Well, actually, yes. I mean, when I turned 16, I was on the line to get my driver license there in Puerto Rico. So I get my driver license. The first day I was able to get my driver license per law. And when I get my driver license, I start delivering a product from my family company. We sell their commercial cleaning products like plastic bags, chemicals, rubber-made products to government, to private company, and we were doing really good. So I have my part-time delivering products everywhere. But soon I realized that I can start selling products, so I can take days out for dining on Fridays and Saturday. And I like it. I kind of like it. So I saw that there was some money there, and I started visiting a lot of more clients. I started opening important clients there, important corporation, and I enjoy a lot what I did. As a matter of fact, even though it was great, I delayed my studies because I was doing really good with the family business. When I After this period of time, then I bought a franchisees, mailboxes, etc. Now it's UPS store. I owned the store in Miramar for 5 years, and was a great experience. Was really good. Limited revenue potential. So I was with the idea that, oh gosh, when I was in Turcos, I was able to sell all I can sell by my effort, but with the franchisee, I depend on the people entering the store. So I had to make effort to bring people to my store. And after that, about 15 years, I decided to complete my studies, and I became CPA about 3 years old. When I was about 3 years old, and because I delayed my study, I punished myself, and I made 3 master degrees in a short period of time just to recover my lost time. So I made master on forensic, master in taxes, and master in accounting. I love to study, and I can keep studying, but I don't have more time to do it now. Maybe eventually I can do a doctoral degree on economy, maybe in the future. But with that, I want to tell you, Sami, that I know what's suffer a business owner. I know the challenges of a business owner. It's not the same to talk from a book, to talk from debits and credit, to talk from the financial statement, and tell the client, oh, you have to do that. And I have never been there. But understanding that the business owner with limited capital, with challenges with cash flows, and how you can handle all the regulations, financial reporting, planning with the challenge that you live in a day-by-day basis, that gave me a very good idea on how to help my clients and all the people around. Because if maybe it's a strength or a weakness, but I like to help people, even though sometimes I didn't collect for some of the service and information I share.
I know. And that's why, mi gente, that's why my people, we invited Gustavo to be on the show.
Thank you, thank
Okay,
you.
because yeah, because you have heart and because you've been through it. So you're not talking nonsense. Okay, you've actually lived through again the peaks and vallees, right? Of owning
Mhm.
your own business. And then you have the qualifications to back up, providing some insight on again the shit show that is the stimulus plan and the links and all of this. It's just like so hard sometimes to navigate this, and so thank you for being with us today. So talk to me about the rebates. What is the status on the rebates? What is it? And who can apply for it? Because I see that if you pay taxes, well then you can tap into that. But if you don't, then you're kind of in a pickle, right?
Yeah, first thing is that you don't have to apply for that. It's
Okay,
going to
good.
be automatically. But you need a 2018 and a 2019 or a 2019 return filed with the IRS. They are
Okay.
going to use your 2019 return, and if you haven't filed it, they are going to look at your 2018 return. So
Okay.
based on this information, is that they're going to qualify you for the rebate. There's going to be 1,200 per adult and $500 for each dependent that is under 17 years old. There is a segment that didn't receive any credit, which are dependent over 17 years old. So the college student of 18 years old, who is a dependent, will not get any credit. Will not get the 1,200, nor will not get the $500. But
Okay.
this is the segment. There are other segments that have been added, which are the people that receive Social Security, the 1099 people,
Mhm.
Social Security documents. They will be able to get the rebate, but they should go to the IRS and complete an application, a very easy process to report themselves as Social Security earner. So they can set their bank account and they can tell the IRS, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting for my rebate. And
Right.
I have to say, rebates are important for many reasons. So don't stop receiving it. This is going to put food in our table. It is
Mm-hmm.
going to ease our pressure to go and get an earning in the street when we will supposed to have some staying home time while we get this done. And it's
Yeah.
going to help a lot also with mental health and our society's safety because we are giving money to the people so they can
Mhm.
pass this very difficult time.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Okay, good. This is really good information. And as let's do this. Can we agree on something right now, Gustavo?
Sorry, can you?
Can we agree on something right now?
Oh, sure, sure. Let me know
That
when I get.
whenever there's a substantial amount of change,
Hmm.
that you'll call me and say, okay, Sami, ahora toca. Like we need to do another one because the
Okay,
update. So
okay.
it could be in 3 weeks, it could be a
Sounds
month,
good.
whenever that is. You call me and say, okay, that it's worth getting back
Okay.
on and
So,
giving people updates.
so,
Okay.
so, so I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to give you a
Yes.
tip for that.
Yes.
Look at Spain and Italy.
Okay.
They're starting to lose, make their make less strict their precautionary ways to handle this,
Okay.
and they're maybe start to open in their country step by step, a little slow. People are scared about this, but we have to do it somehow. So they're starting to do small steps. If this works for them, we are going
Hmm.
to be behind them. I'm sure that people here are looking at Italy and Spain. If
Right.
this go bad to them and they have to go back again, then we have to still wait. If we
Okay.
have to still wait longer, Congress will have to do something else
Right.
just to
Okay.
keep the people another month in their house while this is totally recovered.
Okay. So what you're telling me is to keep an eye on Spain and Italy, and then
That's
I'll
right.
know when I gotta call you too.
I was following their news.
Yeah. Uh huh.
This weekend, they are reporting lower deaths, lower
Okay.
cases. So they're
Okay.
starting to open very slow, more Spain than Italy. Italy was a
Okay.
big mess because of how they are. They like to party, they like to be together, which is
Yeah.
great. No, but they didn't realize this is so serious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why they hit this really hard. But the Spain and Italy experience could be our roadmap. So let's look at them.
Okay.
I'm gonna let
Okay.
you know whatever you see there is going to
Okay.
impact us.
Okay, cool. I'll be calling you often then, as things materialize over there. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Talk to me about unemployment because they just extended it, right? It was originally for 26 weeks and it was
That's correct.
extended now to 39.
Yeah.
So, mhm,
One more thing about the rebate.
yes.
People that file returns and don't have their bank account registered with IRS, or they change their bank account, they will be able anytime, maybe today the 14th or tomorrow the 15th, to enter in the IRS sites to change and modify their bank account.
Okay, good.
Another important thing, doesn't accept any call from anyone who is representing himself as an IRS agent getting information for you for the rebate. Not email, not calls, nothing. IRS is not going to contact you. You go to the IRS site
Mhm.
or you go to CPAs. I have plenty of CPAs in the area that I can refer to you in
Mhm.
order to be sure they are not taking your personal information and try to get your asset, your cash.
Right, exactly. Okay, good. That's good. That's good advice, people.
Mhm.
Be careful with the scam artists. Okay?
Yeah, and it's incredible. You should think that people in this time is going to be better. No, no, they're waiting to get you money. That doesn't stop. They look at every opportunity trying to rob you.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
be careful with that.
absolutely. Okay, cool.
Okay,
So,
about unemployment.
mhm.
Uh, there are two unemployment right now. The state unemployment has existed for a long time. And usually the state unemployment is 26 weeks.
Mhm.
State unemployment is a combination of state funds and
Mhm.
federal funds. There is a program that work together. So there is a paying with federal funds in the state unemployment. To the people that fight quality report, there's your understand the 940 from the IRS. 940 is for the federal unemployment that you have to file on January every year. The RT6 that you have to file every quarter is the state unemployment. So people that earn money as a W-2, they pay state unemployment. And listen to this. State unemployment is like an insurance.
Mm.
From your compensation, your employer is paying an insurance. An
Mm.
insurance, which is called a state unemployment, that is going to pay you in case that you lost your job. You cannot resign You resign, you don't qualify. If you don't do your job correctly and you're fired, you don't qualify. So it's a case that you cannot work because for some reason you lost your work. So this is a state unemployment that usually is 26 weeks, and the CARE Act extended it another 13 weeks. So
Okay.
any person that was on a state unemployment before the crisis and they were very close to finish their compensation, they can have now another 13 weeks of the state unemployment.
Okay, cool.
State unemployment could be between $250 to $300 per week.
Okay.
Not a living wage, but something that can
That
help.
helps.
That's
Exactly.
correct.
Exactly. And if you also get the rebate, well then again it's all adds
That
up
made the numbers.
and can help you get through again this big hump, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now,
Let me round this.
yes.
Because then the CARE Act added the federal unemployment. It's
Mm,
in a special law. Federal
yeah.
unemployment. There is a federal unemployment that work together with the state law, but it's not too big. However, in this law, they bring another brand new federal unemployment in the CARE Act that give
Hmm.
you $600 per week from
Wow.
April to July 31. It's not
Okay.
as long as the state unemployment. It's for
Hmm.
April, May, June, and July, 4 months. 4 months,
Right.
$600 per week. So make the numbers. I mean, there,
Yeah.
there is no reason right now to be concerned about our financial situation
Hmm.
because you can have the rebates, you can have the state unemployment, and you can have the federal unemployment for 4 months. I think that with that, we will not be wealthy or rich, but we will be able to put food on our tables. We will be able to comply with rent and other basic things. We are saving money in others area, but we
Right.
can be sure that we are going to be safe, financially speaking, for a couple of months while we
Right.
pass this situation.
Right. This crisis. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, my favorite. Ay, Dios mío. The PPP loan, the payment protection program
Mhm.
loans. Yeah.
Okay, this is very important. I
Talk
know,
to
I
me.
know. uh,
Oh my goodness, that was traumatic for
uh,
me anyway. But it's done. You know, we got it done. One of
you
the
was
things,
able
and
to complete it.
oh my goodness, thank God for our accountant and for uh our banks. The thing is, you know what I learned, Gustavo?
Uh-huh.
That you need to diversify your relationships with banking institutions. Or
So
we
you
have a
learned
primary.
something new from the crisis.
Oh my goodness. But in the process, I almost freaking lost it because my primary business bank, which I'm not going to throw them under the bus, because whatever, I'm not going to, I have a lot to say,
I
but
think I think I know which one is.
exactly. It's like they opened up the link to apply for the payment protection program for small businesses for like a nanosecond. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? And
Yeah.
so anyway, so I lost it. I freaking lost it until I paused and I thought of calling Rosa, our friend from
Okay,
TD Bank. And
uh-huh.
I was in a panic and she's like, breathe. You're one of our customers too. And I'm like, that's true. I have an account with TD Bank also. And she's like, you were so smart to have more. And I'm like, someone called me
Good,
smart.
good.
I'll take that any day. But I was like, wow, imagine all of those small business owners like
Mm-hmm.
me. It wasn't until recently that I had opened up
Frustrating.
another account.
Yes.
And so we were able to process it through TD Bank, but it
Mm-hmm.
took us 24 hours to get all the paperwork done. And that's not TD Bank's fault. It's just that's the process. It was like
I know.
a big headache. So talk to
Yeah.
me. Talk to me
Well,
about what people can do if they can't, do it through their primary banking institution.
yeah. I just said I learned only about one bank that they opened their site late on Friday. At least this is the last email I have. And the first email I received on Monday from this bank, because I have linked with all the banks, is
Mm-hmm.
that they closed, that they reached their cap. I say, what? So,
Yeah.
so people, so they everybody go there and get a loan on Saturday and Sunday. Gosh,
Right.
but it's interesting because other banks open their links later, and they're still receiving application 2 weeks later. And
Yeah.
I still receiving email from bank because I have two banks. I deal with two banks, and I applied in both of them.
Yeah.
One of them already approved my PPP and they deposit already. And the second bank didn't
Really?
call me. Yeah, that's correct. We received the
Oh,
funds.
wow.
And the
That's
second
great.
bank just called me. Hey, Gustavo, are you ready? Oh, thank you so much, but I already have the loan. And be careful, you cannot have two loans. They're going. The IRS is good. The big brother is going to notice if you
Yeah.
have two loans. If you have, it's good to apply for both of them as much as you can and get only the first one you have. But
Right.
don't receive a second loan. They will not notice it now, but they will not notice it later, and it's going to be really bad for anyone who do it twice.
Right.
But yeah, it has been a big challenge, Sami. But we must understand that we're in a crisis, that our system has been overloaded, that many people are trying to apply for this.
Yeah.
There are things done incorrectly, and I don't even think that has been done incorrectly because the people were not doing it right, because there's
Mhm.
so much information to process. I've been
Yeah.
following the law from the beginning, and from the law to the regulation to the guidance to the operation in the bank, there are so many things that changes that I have
Hmm.
to be even careful about what I say, because
Yeah.
sometimes I say something and next day it's going to have a fine tuning. So I used to say, this is the information I know today. So this
Right.
is what we can do now.
Right.
So PPP has been a big challenge, but I have to tell something. The U.S. Treasury Secretary said that there will be funds for all the business.
Okay.
So don't be scared that you will lose this stimulus package.
Opportunity. Hmm.
Maybe eventually you will be able to do it, but keep trying it. Keep
Okay.
trying it with all option that you have, because I think that one of the biggest issue is that the PP law must be applied through your commercial bank.
Right.
So your commercial bank has not been fast enough and doesn't have the platform, then you are going to have a big mess with that. And then
Right.
also came a big problem with that to me. And I found this many times, and it's really bad because the law doesn't say it this way, but it has been completely unfair. There are many people that are on a 1099, that are subcontractors,
Yes.
that are self-employed doctors, there are practitioners that
Yep.
they're running their practice as self-employed. I didn't recommend that, but there are people that do it, and
Yeah.
they doesn't have a commercial, a business account. They have a
Right.
personal account, but they have a business. But they
Yes.
were not able to apply to the
Yeah.
loan because all the people on platform depend on a commercial account. So
Yes.
this is something that has been to be fixed, because there is a big segment of people that apply, that qualify under the law, but because banks require a commercial account, they were not able to apply to the
Right.
law.
Right.
But beyond that, it's a very simple loan. You
Yeah.
pay 2.5 times your payroll or compensation if you're a self-employee, 2.5 times your average monthly compensation. If you pay payroll, you don't have to return the loan, but you
Right.
have to certify how you use the funds. You can use you can use without returning the loan up to 75%, no less than 75% of payroll, and
Right.
up to 25% on rent and utilities. So it's a
Right.
good loan. I,
Yeah.
I recommend this, and this is a personal recommendation. This is not a law. This comes from me. If your employee are not working, it's better to talk to them and help them apply for unemployment. Maybe they will have full compensation there. And the law allow you to keep the funds, but you have to repay the funds at the
Mm.
1% in a 2-year term starting in 6 months.
Right.
These funds may become your cash reserve when you will start this. We don't know how we're going to be 1 month from
Right.
here, a month from here.
Right.
So this could be a good cash reserve, or this could be a competitive advantage to invest on technology or asset or expansion that you were thinking on doing and you was not able to do it. So
You
now
know
is the
what?
time.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. What you just said right now, I thought about a week and a half ago about this payment protection program, because especially communities of color, minority business owners, that's one of the primary challenges that they have to be able to scale their businesses.
Hmm.
And it's the lack of access to capital for whatever reasons, for whatever reasons. It could be their finances, it could be the mentality, it could be just systematic barriers that don't allow them to, you know um gain that type of access to big chunks of money, to be able to reinvest in their businesses and scale them. And so I'm glad you said that, because it
Hmm.
just confirmed what I thought. I'm like, if this, even if I don't use this money when we get it, for payroll at that small percentage to pay it back, it's still a good opportunity
Hmm.
to be able to reinvest it in what we need to scale, to scale our businesses. Absolutely. So I'm glad
It's a
you.
great,
Yeah.
great opportunity. Important thing is to be wise,
Yes.
to know where to invest this in order to do it correctly, that you
Uh-huh.
was able to produce more value for your business.
Right.
If you invest this money on expenses,
Yes.
they're nothing back. Just you better put the money back. Okay.
Right.
You have to do this on areas of your business that are going to create more business, that are
Yep.
going to create more awareness, that are going to make your business stronger,
Yep.
extend to new markets, or bring new services. Whatever bring value to your business, it's better to use the money for this. And I got to tell you, Sami, the same thing I explained when we start this talking, that I was in business before becoming a CPA. As a
Yeah.
business owner, I realized how important it is to have capital. And I have
Yeah.
to tell you, in a capital world where we live in,
Mm-hmm.
business with capital are stronger and grow a lot more. You can have a good brand, a good product, a good stuff. You don't have capital, your business is going to die. You can
Right.
have an average product, average service, average staff, but you have a capital to keep your business running. You will be able to grow. You will be able to expand your business. So capital is critical on your business.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
Yeah.
capital and good brand, good product is the best combination. So this is a good opportunity to expand and reinforce our business. So all the things that you are hearing around, oh gosh, after we come, the biggest recession in the world. No, I'm looking at a lot of opportunities there. So you
Mm-hmm.
decide what you want. You want to make a recession on yourself, or you want to make your business stronger and be more competitive when this end.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, it's funny that you mentioned that too, because in the last podcast we were talking about how, Urbander, my business, we kicked it off in the middle of the 2008 recession because of need. I was one of those people that were laid off, and had to
Mm-hmm.
collect unemployment and all of that, but to no fault of my own. I wasn't fired. I was laid off like millions of other Americans. And actually, I've been through that. So I already know what to do to navigate, how to you reassess our budgets, where to invest, what resources we have, and how and who to pitch to try to get new business.
Mm-hmm.
However, not everybody has that advantage, and we all have the bigger enemy, which is the health crisis, right? That one we don't know. I don't know how to deal with. Like we're all learning together on how to manage that. But I wanted to just circle back on the whole banking institution. So it is a good idea to have relationships with multiple banks, right? That
That's
was
correct.
something that
That's
to me was like
completely.
an aha moment. But I would like for you to confirm that. Yeah.
Yeah, completely right. You
Okay.
should have open door for business, and you have alternative for every single relationship of your business, including banks.
Okay, cool. And then the second thing I wanted to ask you is, so then should we try to still submit our application, our PPP application through the original bank, or no?
You should try to do it. The bank that you're mentioning, and as a matter of fact, it's the only one that I hear that
Yeah.
it got to be the same. The
Yeah.
only one that I hear that reach their cap. They're talking about the plan B.
Right.
But I think that at least you should have the evidence that you try.
Right.
The SBA use banks for this because the SBA doesn't have the structure to
Right.
give this loan directly.
Right.
And this has to be just imagine how many private branches around the country. It's better for
Yeah,
SBA than
yeah.
it is for the bank.
And this is
So
unprecedented. So, I mean, we have to be patient.
that's
I think
correct.
they said that you can apply until June 30th. So there's still time. It's not
That's correct.
like, everyone was just jumping into it at the same time, but there is some time. Okay, so I'm taking notes of this
Yeah,
one. So I have to.
keep informed. But at least there are two segments.
Hmm.
The one that you mentioned that was not able to reach the cap of the bank,
Yeah.
and the second segment is the people with self-employment income that doesn't have a commercial account. Those
Okay.
two segments are right now out of the law, and this is
Right.
not the purpose of the law. The
Yeah.
purpose of the law is to put the money equally on the community so we can keep our economy strong where we finish this situation.
Right. Okay, good. No, that's good. That's good to point out. And then the last thing that you list is the EIDL SBA loans. Those is that the 10,000 SBA loans? It's like a grant, no? And before we move forward with that, all of this stuff applies to nonprofits too, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay, good.
non-for-profit and church.
And
Usually,
churches.
faith
Okay.
faith-based institution
Uh-huh.
have limitation with banks because if they have the word Christian or have any relationship with a particular religion, they have their they do not promote religions. They promote
Right.
non-for-profit. But in this particular case, faith-based institution are also
Yeah.
organization are also qualified in these programs. It's important to know.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, that just popped into my head. And so talk to me about these grants, about the
Okay, well,
SBA
no,
grants.
well, actually, this is not a grant. This is another loan. And as a matter of
Okay.
fact, I'm not talking here about grant, but there are grants on the law. Nobody talk
Okay.
about this, but there are grants in the law. Grants for education, grants for translation, a couple of grants. Maybe I can share something in the future about grants. But this
Okay.
particular loan, the SBA loan, this is the economy injury loan. This loan, you can apply to the loan through the internet. You don't have to go to your bank. So you can do it
Right.
right now. And you have to be a business, could be a corporation, could be a partnership, could be a self-employed person. So if you are self-employed and you was not able to qualify because you don't have a commercial
Right.
account, you can do it
Right.
here
Okay,
because they are
good.
not requiring you to have a commercial account.
Right.
What is the difference? Different is that the PP loan require minimum underwriting because as long as you can show how much you earn or pay in payroll, they
Right.
give you the number and they give you the money no matter your credit, no matter your source of funds. They give you the money, no question about that. In the SBL loan, there is more underwriting and the loan is a long-term loan with a higher interest. What I hear,
Okay.
I have to be careful because things changes. But what I
Yeah.
hear and what I read is that this is about 3.75% annual interest, but could go up to 30 years so, in the loan, which is
Oh,
flex-
wow. Yeah.
flexible. The loan has to be for working capital, which is
Hmm.
more flexible than the PPP. The
Yep.
PPP is restricted on your wages is forgive if you use for your wages, but the amount to get is smaller than this loan. This loan is going to cover your working capital needs. Working capital is whatever you need to keep your business operating. So
Right.
maybe you can make a working capital need analysis for 6 months and request a loan for this amount.
Right.
Very interesting in this application is that if you complete the application correctly and in order, uh, the SBA can give you up to $10,000 in advance, $10,000 in advance that you don't have to return.
Wow.
So it's a great idea. The only thing is that the recent regulation, as soon as 3, 4 days ago, the SBA decide that they are going to limit the $10,000 just up to 1,000 per employee. So if you have 3 employees, and you qualify, you apply for the loan, you can have up to $3,000 in advance. No matter if they qualify, if you
Later on for
are
the
approved
larger.
or are
Yeah.
not approved for the loan.
Mm.
Because just in the PPP, everybody's approved. Just comply with the documentation. In this one, you have to be approved. So
Right.
you have to apply. If you have a successful application, they're going to give you the advance, $10,000 up to $1,000 per employee,
Right.
and then they're going to give you the rest of the information. Application is easy. It's very simple, and I have the link there on the letter that you are referring to. Maybe
Yeah.
people that know you can contact you, so you can share the link. But you
Yes.
can go to the small business page also and look at the link. uh, uh, Almost everything is basic information about your business, when you start, what type of organization you are, who are your owner, where are you located, what is your industry. And therefore data, therefore information that is a little more technical but still
Uh-huh.
easy, which is how much is your gross revenue, how
Right.
much is your direct cost, how much is your administrative expenses, your general expenses, and how many employees you have. Those four
Got it.
information are the operational information that you have to share there. All other information is descriptive. So it's a very simple application. And for me, I don't see a reason every business should apply for this done.
Okay.
The worst thing that can happen is that you have the advance and you are not approved, but you have the advance on your side.
Exactly. Right,
So
right, right. Yep. The worst thing that can happen is that they say no, but at least you get the advance.
that's correct,
Right.
because per the law they're supposed to leave the advance. They limit the 10,000 to 1,000 per employee because they realize, oh gosh, this is too much money.
Yeah.
They give 10,000 to every single business with only one or two employees. Other
Right.
important thing, what I read is that most of the loan will be between 25, $35,000. Even
Right.
though the loan can reach $2 million,
Mm-hmm.
most of the loan are going to be between 25, 35. From what I read on the news, again, this can change. I just try
Right.
to get the most recent information and share with the people that we can.
Right. And they determine the amount. It's like you have no control over this. It's basically based on the information you provide, they will determine how much the loan will be.
Sami, I don't have all the details on the
Okay.
operation and approval of the loan, but from what I see is that it's going to be a working capital loan. We
Okay.
have to determine for how long. So maybe they're going to say, okay, well, we have the crisis on, or we are going to use until December 31, 2020. How much working capital you need from now to December
Yeah.
31? Working
Got it.
capital are your short-term liabilities
Right.
and your minimum cost to operate. So they're going to
Okay.
give you the funds to cover all this operation in a losing corporation. So you are losing money. I have this to cover my losses, what I recover myself. But remember, you have to return this money. You
Right.
cannot keep this money. You have to
Right.
return the money. But from the beginning, apparently, you just give this information, you complete the application, and from what I read, if you complete the application successfully, you get
Mm-hmm.
your advance. You don't have to return the advance, and then as a SBA are going to do the other analysis. So they're going
Right.
to contact you back to work on the rest.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. This has been amazing. Amazing. Just in plain terms, not too complicated. It has a lot of, it's complex, but it's
Mhm.
not complicated, right? And
Yeah,
so
correct.
I'm so thankful, that you came, that you came and sat with me. Even
No,
I can't,
my honor.
I can't hug you and samar, but virtually.
We are going to have the time to do it.
Sí, los
That's
quiero mucho. And I'm so thankful. And I think maybe we can have another discussion about
sure.
where you can cut, because I see in your notes also, you always end your emails with with some tips on financial
Yeah,
decisions
correct.
on like, it's like the hustle, right? With
Yeah.
budget, like, and so one of them, the first one is negotiate current rent and fix debt terms. Can I tell you
Uh-huh.
what we did? I put Scott's my husband, everybody, and our
Good job.
creative director. Yeah, because he bought a new truck in December,
Uh-huh.
and he bought it through the dealership
Uh-huh.
because they financed it right there, right? That's how they catch you. But in any event, my goodness, the interest rate was pretty high, was
Uh-huh.
like 8 point something percent. And so I'm like, yo, you need to call the local credit union or something and refinance that truck. So
Uh-huh.
make a long story short, our like payments were like almost $500 a month for the truck, and he was able to get a loan for like three and change or
Oh
something
my
like that.
God.
Yeah, so
And
we
this
got
after you
that.
read this?
Ah,
After you read this
yeah,
recommendation?
yeah.
I saw.
And so no, but wait, it gets better. It gets better, Gustavo. It gets
Okay.
better. So then so this was like 2 weeks ago, right? So so we lowered our monthly payment for his truck for like $150 a month less. Okay. So I was like, and then I said, so then the guy that processed it at the local credit union says, we'll honor this rate for another 30 days. I'm like, you call him right back and let's get my guagua, my SUV. And so we processed the whole thing, and now we're paying like $112 less. Also,
Right, this is $300 on your side.
Yes, in a matter of 2 weeks, we eliminated almost $300 from our monthly fixed cost. And then the guy told him also to call Progressive, our insurance
company,
because now we're not driving anywhere, right? We're homebound. But then we called and they're automatically cutting our monthly fee for insurance, for car insurance by 20%. But I'm going to tell him to call back because I'm like, he could get it lower or I'll call, because I'm fresca that way. I'm real fresh. So I'll call and push him a little bit, see if we can get a bigger discount. Any other tips that we can be applying as homeowners, as just people, people that have a household, it doesn't matter if you own or rent, if you're employed by others, or if you have your own business. What kind of like quick 2-3 tips that we can like put into place like today?
Yeah, we can make a compilation or recommendation. But important message is don't wait for others to fix your current situation. It's good that we have this stimulus package, but there is plenty that we can do in our part. And just our experience here is great because you show that you cut more than $300 in your monthly budget. Not for now. It's for the long term.
I know. So, it was great. I'm so excited. Yes.
So crises sometimes are the place where opportunities grow. So don't look at the crisis. Look at the opportunity that we can have from here. Protect your assets, protect your business and your brand, and look for any opportunity around. There are opportunities around. Just take care of them.
Yeah. Gustavo, what can I say? Thank you. Gracias. For doing, this video cast. We're going to have you on again, so that way you can continue to keep us up to date on what we can be doing to protect ourselves and to try to manage, right, with the current crisis and come out triumphant on the other side, right?
I'm sure we can do it.
Okay, thank you. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
This concludes this episode of I Have Something to Say. We want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. We're on Spotify and iTunes as well. There's more to come next week. And remember, if you have something to say, it's time to speak up.